Hello everyone, Alex Winkler here. Today we're going to review 3 trades that I made today and one of the biggest takeaways from that. Subscribe if you're new and definitely give a like if you found the information helpful, and please leave a comment if you have any questions. Alright, we'll dive right into it. So we started off with ZRX, which has been getting a lot of news lately. I believe they're moving on to their own blockchain, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, there's a lot of news out there, and to be honest, a lot of these places I don't check the news. I'm purely technicals, especially on the trading. On the investment portfolio, it's usually also technicals, but on the coins that have stronger fundamentals. Alright, to dive right into it, ZRX was looking pretty good on the 4-hour chart. That's how I actually found it, because I was looking for some swing trades. And that's when I saw the bull flag pattern. And this was already after a few days of run up. I just kind of want to give you guys an example. We already had a nice little run up here. And then it was kind of, after I checked it this morning, made the watch list, I kind of saw this little consolidation. And then especially around here when it was starting to go down, I really liked the little triangle it was forming here. So I put it in a limit order at, I don't know, it was like 1.146, I believe. And it took a while for it to get executed. And then it finally did, and then it dropped a bit under. But after that, it was for almost like an hour just in limbo phase. But then not too long ago, it shot up really nicely. So this was a perfect textbook trade, exactly what we teach over and over again. I actually got a nicer exit than I was planning, so that's always awesome. I even sold a bit too early. That's a huge problem of mine. Especially with the breakouts and a lot of failed breakouts, as we've been seeing. So I start getting out a bit earlier on the ones that are good, but I can't complain about a 9% gain. This was a pretty small position, about 1,500 coins, and the actual size, here's my entry. So this was about $1,800. Not a big position. So a lot of you guys are wondering, how much are you trading with? I don't have enough cash to get started, but honestly, if you have between $1,000 and $2,000, that's perfect to start trading. And the best part about having a small account is you can only lose a small amount as well. We're also not leveraged up, so you won't lose more than your account value. There's no reason really not to start trading, especially just start learning, because the first 3 months you're going to have probably a hard time consistently making profits. It takes a bit to start kind of mastering the strategies, figuring out what works for you, what your favorite strategies are, and so on. Let me actually just jump to the next trade here, because this one was the one I'm really upset about here. I also placed this limit order the same time I made this ZRX trade. So this is something I really want to review today, because this is something that I mess up with over and over again. I'll share it with you right here. I bought right here looking for the 84 breakout, which, if anyone's watching today, knows that it happened. We actually had a huge breakout today. So you can see this is what I was waiting for. Obviously not on this level. Oh, I'm messing everything up. But I was looking for that breakout, and that's what I had in my charts. But what happened was we had this little bit run up and then a complete sell-off, and I wanted to get out during this. I'm not 100% sure why I didn't, but this looks like a good time to possibly get out at its week and all, but it was actually really hard to get out. This whole entire run-up was only 5-10 Litecoin being bought and sold almost the whole time. And even this dip was caused by maybe a sell-off of, I would have to check, but it was not a big amount. So once I was trying to get out, it was already crashing way too hard. I didn't get out till basically way too late. Sorry guys, my phone's ringing. I don't know how to turn that off. Anyway, I didn't get out till way too late, which actually would have been a good time to buy. If I didn't buy here, I probably would have ended up buying here. But this is something I really want to hit home on this lesson. And for me, making bad trades really kind of messes up my next trade. And I'll talk about that on my next trade. But this position, I should have waited. I got a little too eager to build up my position ahead of time. I instinctively really felt like there was going to be a second drop. I should have waited for that. I got out. It looks like when you see this minus that I got out at a horrible spot. But when you see price dipping this fast, and we're at the highs that we have been at, this thing could fall a couple more dollars, and it's best to get out as soon as possible, because this loss, which was not even that bad, it was just a big position size, so it seems big. It wasn't even 1%, but this, if you hold on to this, it can easily get to 5%, 10% very quickly, and then you're gonna be left cutting a huge loss. This was one of our bigger positions. I had about, I'll tell you right now, 115 Litecoin, so a little over $9,000 we had invested in this one. Let me see if there's any more notes. Looking for breakout. Sold, much bigger loss than I was planning for, but overall not too bad. So yeah, I've been getting out of a lot of good moves too early. So that's actually why I held, because there's yesterday I made a small profit, I don't know, $60, $70, and the whole day I was just constantly getting out of moves way too early that ended up spiking up. But well, so this move or this position was a clear kind of overtrading for me, and this I'm still not completely refined, as in I do overtrade, and that's kind of my biggest weakness at the moment. Yeah, I'll review in the next trade. Actually, let's jump right into it. And this trade, I really want to hit this home. This trade, by getting to it in early, being too eager, really messed up my second trade, which looks like it was pretty awesome. I had a $209 gain, but this could have been easily a $600 gain, and I'll tell you why. So this was the second trade right after or the third trade of the day, and this was kind of the big one I was waiting for. I'm happy I got it. I didn't miss it, at least, but I say I butchered most of it. So this was it looks like a good trade, but it was actually horribly executed. So let's just leave it at that. So it was the same play as trade 76. The thing was, I bought after the dip, so I should have probably bought here at maybe the first possibility of a stare, like I said earlier. But I waited for a bit better price action. I wanted kind of a confirmation that the price is changing momentum, right? You don't. The problem is the momentum here was going downwards, and I kind of bought a potentially a good entry, but in general the price action over the longer time frame was going down. Here, same entry, right? So you think, wow, you actually bought at a worse price. Yes, but I bought at a price where the whole trend was upwards. And I bought at a kind of the second stare, and it was holding its highs really well. So this is a very bullish sign. The only problem was I was so my confidence was so blown after this trade that I got out half of my position right about here. It was at 83 something, 83.02, right? Actually more than half my position, because I only had 111, right? So I got over half my position out right here. And that's when the price really boomed up, almost right afterwards. And that's something I probably would not have done if it wasn't for this trade. I was so on edge by the time I got to this trade that any kind of price movement probably would have freaked me out. And that's kind of what happened here. There was a few failed breakouts. I was getting a little nervous. I didn't want this to happen again, even though in hindsight the price action was 1,000 times better. But that's what happened. Anyway, the breakout happened. This was pretty beautiful. I actually sold right at the tip. Not even this tip. I sold at, let me check, 86.89. Yeah, actually it was this one. So I sold right about here, and then the price really collapsed. This actually would have been a nice dip buy, but pretty nerve-wracking. It wasn't for me. I didn't do it. So yeah, I sold about here, my smaller half here, and my bigger half here, which kind of gave me an average sell of 84.79. So can't complain. It was a nice run up. I could have easily made if I, bought earlier. So basically, two ways to improve this trade was A, don't overtrade, don't get too eager. This one should have never happened. B, I should have bought earlier, right here when it shows holding its highs, and what I even could have done is bought a small position, so half my position, ideal position size here, and once I saw a confirmation breakout, I could buy the second half here. This would have gave me a nicer average, right? And then I would be way more relaxed. I wouldn't be so nervous about this jittery because I already have a nicer position size at much lower price. And then when this breakout happened, I probably would have still got out at the somewhere near the high, but I would have got out my whole position, and that would have easily times my trade profit by about 3. So yeah, today was a decent day. I mean, ended it with 260 or something, I believe, but overall, I could have ended it well over 600, and I'm pretty sure about that. I've done it many times before. I've made over 800 on these little trades as well, with this small position size or account size. So it's possible. It's just I was like a frantic squirrel today. It was a mess, and I want to show you guys the Google Sheets, which is slowly coming together. This is where I document everything. You can find all this in the course day 2. I'll actually have a video lesson going over the whole entire Google Sheets, but I wanted to focus on the analytics and numbers. So I finally kind of set up the chart and the numbers. There's not a lot of information here because this is kind of our second week. But you can see the week total, 339. Today was about 270. So I'm going to have a pretty conservative goal. I just want to hit $1,000 for the week, and I'd be pretty happy. And then as I consistently do $1,000 with our account size, which is about making 10% per week on our account, then I want our trader account specifically, not our long account. It's a whole different setup. So as I hit the thousands, then I'll start increasing it, growing the account size, and I'll be a bit more aggressive on the trades. So yeah, I kind of want to get everything started. I wanted to share specifically today the kind of my mistakes and why today didn't go as good as it could have. So I hope you guys learned something. Please leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe if you're new. All right, guys. Ciao, ciao.